Welcome to Rooted Grace. In the book of Joshua, we witnessed God's people enter the promised land with boldness, obedience, and victory. But as we turn the page into Judges, everything changes. Judges is a story of cycles, of sin, suffering, supplication, salvation, and back again. It's raw, it's dark, it's real, and it shows us what happens when people forget God, and what grace looks like when He doesn't forget them. Let's step into this sobering yet powerful book. Judges begins with Israel failing to complete the conquest. Tribe after tribe does not drive out the Canaanites as God commanded. They settle for compromise. They live among the people they were meant to remove, and slowly, those people become their influence. In Judges chapter 2, a pattern is introduced. Israel turns from God. God allows them to be oppressed. They cry out for help. God raises a judge to save them. But when the judge dies, they return to sin, worse than before. This book is not just history, it's a mirror, and it begins with compromise. The first judges arise. Othniel defeats the king of Aram. Ehud, a left-handed man, kills Eglon, the obese king of Moab, with a hidden dagger. Shamgar kills 600 Philistines with an ox goad. Then comes Deborah, a prophetess and the only female judge. With Barak, she leads Israel to victory over Sisera. Sisera flees, but is killed by Jael, a woman who drives a tent peg through his skull. They sing a victory song in chapter 5. When the princes in Israel take the lead, praise the Lord. In these stories, we see God using unexpected people to bring deliverance. Israel sins again. Midian oppresses them. God calls Gideon, a fearful man hiding in a winepress. He calls him mighty warrior. Gideon asks for signs. He lays out a fleece twice. God meets him in his fear. Then God reduces Gideon's army from 32,000 to 300. Why? To show that the victory belongs to God. With torches, trumpets, and broken jars, the 300 defeat the Midianites. But Gideon's story doesn't end well. He creates an ephod that becomes an idol. He names his son Abimelech, "My father is king." He starts humble, but ends prideful. Victory doesn't guarantee faithfulness. Gideon's son Abimelech declares himself king. He kills his brothers. His rule is a disaster. He dies when a woman drops a millstone on his head. Then come other judges, Tola and Jair, brief and peaceful. Jephthah, a rejected man turned leader. He defeats the Ammonites but makes a tragic vow, offering his daughter. Jephthah's story is a warning. Don't make reckless promises to God. The people cry out again and again. God raises deliverers, but the cycle continues. Samson's story is the most famous in Judges. He is set apart before birth as a Nazirite. He's strong, chosen, and full of potential, but ruled by impulse. He marries a Philistine woman. Later he visits prostitutes. Finally, he falls for Delilah. She presses him until he reveals his secret, his hair. She cuts it. He's captured, blinded, and humiliated. But in his final moments, Samson prays, "Lord, remember me." God answers. Samson pulls down the temple, killing himself and thousands of Philistines. He dies in faith, but his story is a tragedy of wasted potential. Giftedness without character leads to collapse. The final chapters are disturbing. Micah creates idols and hires his own priest. A Levite's concubine is raped and murdered in Gibeah. Civil war erupts. The tribe of Benjamin is nearly wiped out. These aren't just random stories. They show what happens when there's no spiritual leadership. The book ends with a haunting refrain. In those days, Israel had no king. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. Judges 21:25. This is what life looks like without God at the center. Judges is hard, but it's honest. It shows us the cycle of sin, the consequences of compromise, the failure of human leaders, but it also shows the mercy of God. He delivers again and again. Not because Israel deserves it, but because He is faithful. It points forward to a greater judge, one who won't die, one who won't fail, one who rescues once and for all. That judge is Jesus. He breaks the cycle. He gives us a new heart. He becomes our King. Judges ends in darkness, but it prepares us for the light. Thank you for joining us for the Book of Judges. Subscribe, share, and come back as we continue the story in the Book of Ruth. Stay rooted, stay faithful, and stay in His grace.